On Friday, June 20th at approximately 9:40 p.m., the Highland Falls PD responded to a report of a violent domestic dispute at 35 Fort Putnam Road. Upon arrival, officers knocked on the door repeatedly. A male who was apparently injured opened the door, walked past the officers, and the officers also observed a person later identified as Junko Salters, age 62, apparently critically injured on the floor of the apartment. One officer attempted to pursue, who was later identified as Leonard Salters, age 51. The other officer began to render life-saving efforts to Junko Salters. Both officers ultimately continued life-saving efforts. Approximately 10 minutes after their arrival, Junko Salters was transported via ambulance to St. Luke's Cornwall Hospital, where she's pronounced dead. Her visible injuries were multiple stab wounds. At that time, the Orange County DA's office, the New York State Police Forensic Identification Unit, Bureau of Criminal Investigation and Major Crimes units also responded. All the involved agencies worked this case throughout the morning, ultimately obtaining a warrant for the arrest of Leonard Salters for murder second degree. At approximately 9 a.m. on June 21st, Leonard Salters was involved in an accident on Eastern Parkway in Irvington, New Jersey. He was extricated from his vehicle with an abdomen wound and transported to Rutgers University Medical Center in Newark, where he's listed in critical but stable condition. A warrant for murder second degree has been lodged. Salters is being guarded by Rutgers University Police. It's anticipated that when his condition improves, he'll face extradition in New Jersey to come back to Orange County to face a murder charge.
Could you spell June's middle name? You said it was June something.
Junko is her first name, J-U-N-C-O.
Thank you.
Can you elaborate on his abdominal injuries? Were they sustained during the domestic dispute or the car accident?
That part is under investigation. We don't know exactly how and when he obtained the injury.
When you said that the officers responding initially saw that he was injured himself, can you describe what injuries they may have saw?
They saw that he was his clothing appeared to be stained with blood. Appeared that he may have been injured.
But that could have been Junko's blood as well.
Absolutely.
Do we know what the domestic dispute was about?
Only that it was a domestic dispute that they were arguing. As far as the specifics of what they were saying back and forth, we don't know.
Was there any alcohol in the
I can't speak to that.
Is there a history of domestic disputes? Officers responding to calls?
We were able to find no previous domestic incident reports regarding this couple.
Did you recover a weapon?
To my knowledge, we did not.
So it's unclear what type of knife she was stabbed with.
That's correct.
How many times was she stabbed and where?
Multiple times. Specifically, the visible injuries at the scene were stab wounds to the chest. There were some defensive wounds too. A specific number I can't speak to.
How long was the couple married?
I don't know.
Was there any indication that the police had paid them a visit before? There had been other calls to that residence?
A history of calls to that residence, there was not. Earlier that evening, there were calls to the residence, and there was a verbal domestic only, and Junko Salters was interviewed, said that Leonard Salters had never hit her before, and that they argued verbally a lot, but that was all.
That implies that he hit her when they went to the earlier call?
No, he did not. They asked her if there was any threat, if she felt threatened or there was any threat of violence, and she indicated he had never hit her before and did not hit her during this time either.
And around what time was that call?
Earlier in the evening.
Probably about a half hour after, probably a half hour before the actual incident. 9 o'clock.
Dave, can we talk to you for a minute?
If the major's
Certainly.
done.
Any more questions for me? Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
This is another case of severe domestic violence that we've seen all too many of in the county.
Well, you mentioned the word severe. Domestic violence in any form is intolerable, but yes, I would describe this as severe. Obviously, Ms. Salter lost her life.
Do you know how many this makes this year, domestic violence fatalities?
I believe this is number 1. Yes. I will speak just for a second as to what happens with the case at this point. First, I'd like to thank the Highland Falls Police Department as well as the state police for what they've done so far. What happens next is, obviously, the major said that a warrant has been lodged in this case, and the defendant is in the custody of the university police. What will happen is, when he is well enough to be arraigned and he understands the nature and consequences of what he's charged with, he'll appear before court. He'll have the right to challenge the extradition or not challenge the extradition. As a result, once that is clarified in the Jersey court system, he will be brought back to Orange County to face the charges here. That's the way the process will work. That can occur, that can take some period of time before that can happen. With a healthy individual, being the fact that he's in the hospital, we're a little uncertain of when that will happen.